house always wins. Play long enough, you never change the stakes. The house takes you. Unless, when that perfect hand comes along, you bet big, and then you take the house. I've been practicing this a little bit. Did I rush you? Felt like I rushed.
That was good. I liked it.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Big Easy Bets podcast. I'm your host, Logan, and with me in the studio, NickVonBrick.
Let's go.
With us on the ones and twos, Joseph Ascani.
What up?
This is episode 162, College Football Week 3, NFL Week 2. We're off and running. I told y'all last episode what the formula was. Week 0 is a shit show. Week 1, conservative, but slightly more aggressive. Then Week 2, we send shots at your bookie, and that is exactly what we did. You want to combine 6 and 1.
Yep. The King's back.
Is it safe to say you're back? Surprise, surprise. I'm feeling good all across the board. Well, before we recap everything, there's a couple things to touch on. It's been a wild weekend in the sporting world. I got a bunch of different things written down. So we'll start with the Saints. The Saints get a big win. Call it a big win. I think it is. It's a win, so I'll take it. 1-0. Rate Derek Carr's performance on a scale of like A+, F-.
I only saw the first half.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Why?
I have a flag.
Oh, that's right. Oh my God.
But no, I thought
I forgot about that.
For the most part.
Okay, well then you don't get you don't get to say that because his best performances were in the second half, so you didn't even get to say
the first drive was nice.
It was, but okay. I gave the whole team a B-. I would say that's kind of what I would give him too. I would lean in that. Did you see his interception?
The interception was bad.
It was.
Yeah.
He came out and said, he was like, that was me being stupid.
Yeah, that was terrible.
But I'm okay with that because it's like we forget. Drew Brees used to throw his fair share of interceptions as well.
Oh, yeah.
Just don't. I mean, I would rather you sit up there in the press conference and be like, that was fucking dumb. And then I can respect that. Trevor Penning looked like a liability. Bad. Made Arden Key look like Arden Key at LSU.
Yeah.
Michael Thomas is still Michael Thomas. Realistically, he should have had a touchdown. If I sent it in the group chat, if Penning holds up on the left side, the scramble, Derek Carr scrambles out to the right, and he still nearly found Michael Thomas in the back right of the end zone. Michael Thomas found the weak spot in the zone, wide open for a touchdown if the line can hold up. Derek Carr could probably take a step up in the pocket and throw a strike there, but still, Michael Thomas looked good. Checked all the boxes that I was looking for. Chris Olave, one of the best receivers in football.
Yep.
The best route runner in that draft class. Like we said, we told everybody we were very high on Chris Olave. He fits the bill. Shaheed looked fucking good. He realistically, they showed another angle of the touchdown. Looked like he should have had 2 touchdowns. That one move he had on the first touchdown. That was in the first half, right?
The first touchdown?
Yeah, his only touchdown.
I think we only scored 1.
Yeah, it was. He scored the only touchdown, but he had another one where he slid to the sideline, and they reviewed it, and they said he was out, but they showed an angle from behind. It actually does look like, but I saw it from the front angle, and it did not look like, it looked like his knee was just on the line. Regardless, Shaheed checked all the boxes for me too. The deep ball, I love the way they closed the game. They showed that the footage of Derek Carr saying, hey, give me another shot, goes up to Shaheed, basically go, and we're going to end this game, puts the ball on the money. Shaheed kind of might have stepped out of bounds. It was very close, but they didn't call it.
Yeah, his only blemish, really, I would just say that's just a great play by the defender on the opening kickoff.
Oh, yeah.
That was
I was like, but I don't know why. Play. I still felt, I was like, okay, we're still going to be fine. Like, that was super unfortunate.
Yeah.
But when the defense bowed their neck and held into a field goal, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Marshawn Lattimore's top 5 corner in the league.
For sure.
We've been saying it for quite a while. He might be top 3, might be the best that I saw this weekend. So, absolutely locked down Hopkins. Should have had another interception. He jumped the route and just dropped it. He should have had another one. Probably would have sealed the game. He's the real fucking deal. Demario Davis, tip your cap to Demario Davis. He came out in his press conference. Did you see that?
Mm-mm.
His daughter had a massive seizure the day before the game. 30-minute seizure, had to go to the hospital. He in his post-game press conference, he read a prayer and then gave his the prayer was about getting a knock on the door and answering the knock, that God will knock him. We're not going to get religious or anything on here, but that you got to be. he was equating it to the situation going on with his daughter. But regardless, so the dude had to go through that, which is a crazy situation. They had to take her to the hospital in the ambulance. He was following him, said he was praying. She's okay now. She has epilepsy. Oh, okay. But this was like the worst seizure she's had, he said. So to have all that on your mind, and he came out and fucking stonewalled Derrick Henry in the second half. So
it's impressive the way he's still moving around the field.
Oh, it's
impressive.
It's impressive. Knock on wood, the longevity, the way he plays, and the availability. The best free agent signing we've ever had. I other than Drew Brees, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Darren Sharper.
That was a good one too, not for the community, but for the team. Yeah. So hats off to Demario Davis. The Saints are 1-0. It's all that matters. Blake Grupe, the rookie kicker, nailed a 50-yarder. I think we went 3 for 3. We win by 1.
Yeah.
Will Lutz missed a 50-yarder. Yeah. See you later, losers. Y'all saw Sean Payton opened up the game with a onside kick.
Oh no, did he?
Didn't get it. They lost by 1. Probably should have kicked it deep. Oh man. He's not with us.
Like, y'all trust me, this shit made me famous.
Yeah. Do you know who I am? Yeah, no, if he would have got it, he knows, because if he would have got that, that's all they would have been talking about. Yeah. But didn't get it. Cheated with a hooker at the Greenbrier, and then now you're in Denver, and Godspeed. Not with us, you're against us. But yeah, 1-0. I'm feeling good. We're playing Carolina.
Monday Night Football, primetime.
The defense is incredible. The defense is just as good as it's always been. Linebacking play is great. Granderson looked good. Peyton Turner looked good. Now he's hurt. Now he's done. So
Malcolm Roach.
Turf toe for Peyton Turner. So see you later. Trevor Penning, just like last year. He'll probably be out 6 weeks at least. Another wasted experiment, drafting a small school lineman. So what can you do? But we have the weapons. Another thing to consider is life is much more difficult for Derek Carr when Alvin Kamara and Kendre Miller are not on the field. We have no real element to run the ball, and he still looked good. Obviously, the red zone struggles. It would have looked a lot differently if the line would have held up. When they come back and we're able to run the ball, I mean, we have weapons on the outside. So I have very high hopes. I really do. With a defense like that, Derek Carr did not look bad. And you're going to give him now arguably the most elite check down option in the league. Yeah. When things are breaking down, you go to Alvin Kamara and he makes people miss and gets you 10 yards. Kendre Miller looked dynamic. I have very high hopes. If Marshawn Lattimore is going to play the way he's playing, I don't even know who the backup safety was that came in. I don't know if y'all saw that. They attacked him right away, and he tipped the ball to Marcus May for the interception.
I saw that play.
Incredible play. We have guys making plays at every level of the defense. Pete Werner looked good. I'm excited. I'm fired up. We realistically could be 5-1 6 weeks into the schedule. There's no reason we couldn't be. We have the weakest schedule, so it's exciting. If you're a Saints fan, you should be excited right now. Down goes Bama, Texas, man. We were high on Texas all offseason. Why did we not pull the trigger? I told you I didn't like fucking Milrow.
It was a game I was planning on live betting, and I went to live bet it. And right as I was pulling up the app, they picked off Milrow.
He didn't look good.
No.
I said I didn't think he was good. I saw the game before, and then when you were like, not like you swayed me off of it, but I don't know. We should have hammered Texas. Hindsight's always 20/20, I understand, but we were high in the offseason on Texas. We bet their over win total. I was planning
on betting it. I just didn't want to. I wanted to get more than the touchdown.
Yeah. I think we could have. I think it's all 7.5.
Yeah, it was just juiced.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, we were on the over win total, so that looks great now. Other than Oklahoma, who's going to give Texas any trouble? Sky's falling in Alabama. They suck. They'll still go to the Sugar Bowl. Mel Tucker fired over phone sex. You saw that?
Yeah, that's weird.
The $100 million man. He claims it was consensual 30-plus minute, multiple occasion phone sex. The other woman says not, that she was stunned and could not hang up the phone. What? Hang up the phone, man. If somebody's like, hey.
Yeah, I think that's some bullshit.
I mean, yeah, we're not going to.
I think it's Michigan State trying to get rid of him.
I wouldn't put it past them. They overpaid the shit out of him. They said, hey, you need to infiltrate Mel Tucker.
Yeah.
Compromise him, stay on the phone, and then be like, hey, he was saying some wild shit to me, and they are now getting out of their contract. That's big brain thinking if that's the way they did it. But yeah, hang up the phone. If you don't want to be on the phone, hang up the phone. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. What else? Oh. Okay, yeah, let's talk about it. We felt like the Jets were a little overhyped. Now they're exactly hyped as they should be. Aaron Rodgers is done for the year.
Yeah.
That has got to be the most depressing thing I've ever seen. Other than getting a Super Bowl stolen from you. Like when I really thought about it, I was like, nobody gave a shit when they paid over $1,000 to go watch the Saints go to the Super Bowl. And they took it from us. So that's another thing. All of these people, like, it's really funny that the Chiefs lose and then the Bills lose. And before they're even done with the broadcast, like, well, this has an asterisk by it. No, the fuck it doesn't. There's one game, maybe two, in the history of the NFL that has an asterisk by it. And it's the NFC Championship between the Saints and the Rams. I don't want to fucking hear about, they even said it about our game last week with the fumble from Carr, and they blew it dead. Cry me a goddamn river. But they said it with the Chiefs game because Travis Kelce's hurt, that it's an asterisk. That's not an asterisk. That's a win. And then they're trying to say that it's an asterisk because there was a tripping penalty that was missed on the punt return. Let's talk about the fact that Aaron Rodgers got hurt in 4 plays. If you're giving the Chiefs an asterisk because they're without Kelce and Chris Jones, would the Jets have gotten an asterisk?
Yeah.
On the goddamn season?
Yeah, or did the tripping or anything make Josh Allen play like a piece of shit?
Yeah, 4 turnovers. Are we going to act like if they call that tripping penalty that they're not already in field goal range to win the game? Like, shut up, dude. It's I don't understand. I do understand that the Chiefs and the Bills are 2 of the premier teams in the league. Shut the fuck up about, oh, it's an asterisk now on the, like, why? Oh, well, you need to know that they're still the best. This isn't legitimate. Dude, cry me a goddamn river. Josh Allen looked like a shitbag.
Yeah.
He looked not good. And I tweeted out, I think he's just jumping just to jump at this point. It was 3rd and 13. He scrambles out to the left. There's 4 defenders in front of him, and he like halfway like jumps up into the air. He's 7 yards away from the first down. What are you doing? I feel like that's just like his like persona now is I'm the guy who's going to dive and I'm going to put my body on. You're 7 yards away.
Yeah.
What are you going to Michael Jordan stretch your arm for the first down? It looked like the defenders were even like, what are you doing? Like they don't want to hit him because they know they can't hurt the quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Knowing that, slide or sit your hillbilly ass down. What are you doing? It was so strange. Like I feel like he's just doing it just to do it now. And he's almost wearing on me a little bit, like getting a little played out. Like he's overhyped. He is overhyped. What has he done? So I don't know. He looked terrible though. So if you're a Bills fan, I mean the season's certainly not like they're still very much up there to win it all and all of that. And I understand it's week 1. He can turn it around. The Jets defense is the real deal, which makes you really think. I really did sit back and think about it. Like the butterfly effect of everything. Hypothetically, say the Jets are terrible. They go into the draft next year and they miss and they are terrible again. They fire Robert Saleh.
Mm-hmm.
What if they would have won the Super Bowl this year? Because that defense is the real deal. Yeah. Breece Hall looks insane. Mm-hmm. And then you have Dalvin Cook as your backup running back. They got weapons on the outside. What if with that defense and Aaron Rodgers there, like hypothetically, they run the table, they do win the Super Bowl. Robert Saleh's a Super Bowl winning head coach, gets a new contract, all of that. Instead, what if he's fired in 2 years now?
Yeah.
All because Aaron Rodgers tore his Achilles. It's crazy, like the butterfly effect and how quickly your entire Derek Carr gets hurt. Our season's over. It's gone in a heartbeat for anyone. Patrick Mahomes, anyone, any of the quarterbacks, really. Mm-hmm. It's just crazy how much rides on it. The offseason hype, Hard Knocks, like they've been dog shit forever. And they had so much hype, and in 4 plays, 75 seconds, done. Season is over. Because Zach Wilson looks terrible. It is comical that they won in overtime, and Zach Wilson didn't have to even touch the ball in overtime.
Yep. Incredible
punt return.
Yeah.
What a moment. What awesome. An effort by the punter.
That was awesome.
the punter did not give a shit.
You talking about the last guy who just did this?
That's the
basically?
punter, yeah.
Yeah, that was, what was that?
The punter did not want any part of making that tackle. He was like, if y'all let him get to me, that's like if I would have played football. I've always said that. Like, I would have loved to play safety and ball hawk, but if you get past the linebackers, touchdown.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
bro.
I was dozing off.
Yeah, it was late.
I was like watching the end of the game, and it was right before when they I was like, the Jets should go for it because if they give the ball back to Allen, he's just gonna be Josh Allen again, not throw any interceptions. Well, they ended up having to settle for the field goal. Well, I was like closed my eyes when they were going to kick the field goal, and I heard boom.
Yeah.
I fucking woke up. I was like,
the
what
doink?
The double doink?
Yeah.
The doink. No, he just doinked it in.
Yeah.
50 yards.
And then I fell asleep at overtime, and then I heard him say that they were winning.
Yeah.
Because I was still listening. Lionel was like, "Yeah, you missed it."
No, that was sick. For, I mean, a rookie, they had him on Hard Knocks. Like, he was on the cut line, basically. They called him in and, like, did the thing where they're like, all right, you did a lot of good things for us this training camp. And they're like, you're a Jet. Like, he's like, why'd you scare me like that? And then they even say, like, you're going to do good things for us this year. First game, walk-off.
Yeah, that was
Walk-off, punt return. That's why sports are the best thing in the world, dude.
Oh, yeah, I love it.
Last thing. Give me your thoughts on the sports books issuing refunds.
Oh,
What-
I saw that.
For what
I
game?
saw that.
For last night, since Rodgers got hurt. If you had a prop bet with Rodgers, they issued a refund. Really, if you bet anything with Rodgers, they
No.
issued a refund.
FanDuel's the only book that didn't.
Yeah, but the majority
But
did.
majority
yeah,
of them
yeah.
did, yeah.
So they were issuing refunds if you had a bet pertaining to Aaron Rodgers.
That's interesting.
What are your thoughts?
4 plays.
Do you want to know my thoughts before your thoughts?
Yeah.
I think it's bullshit. Because if I wasn't on the game, but if I'm on the Bills, I am rejoicing that he just snapped his Achilles like a twig. Not for his health, but for my bet. That's the risk you take.
It's the nature of the
You're
beast.
betting on sports.
Right.
You're betting on that team to win. You're not saying that, and I'll get to Jesse in just a second because he texted me some wild ass stupid shit pertaining to injuries. So no, that's the risk you take. You don't get refunds. You shouldn't get refunds, and you're setting a weird precedent. I think just because he got hurt, like you want to do it. I understand it's probably a PR move to try to get people to come to your site. Like they'll take care of us.
Yeah.
If I'm on the other side of that, I'm like, thank God. Now my likelihood of winning this bet has just gone through the roof.
Right.
Yes, but if you bet the under, it's not like they voided the bet. Like if you bet under Rodgers passing yards, I'm sure those people had to get paid out.
Yeah, but if you bet over, they gave it back to you. But I think it's just weird. I don't know. I don't like it. I think that's part of the risk that you take.
Yeah.
I think it's strange.
I'd take a refund of it if it was me.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm on Rodgers props, yeah, sure, maybe it's a different tune, but I don't know. I guess it's one of those, like, who cares, I guess. If they want to do it, let them do it. But it's still like, I don't know.
Well, I mean,
I feel like
look at
that's the risk you take.
Look at the sport you're betting on.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's a
People
contact
are
sport.
bound to get hurt.
Yeah. And any time that I bet against a team and their quarterback gets hurt, the backup comes in and shits down my throat every time. So it's like it doesn't matter. Jesse,
if you bet the Bills, you're like, yes.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Fucking still.
Yeah, they had that bar. There was a bar in Green Bay, and they bet that, or they have a promotion that every time the Jets lose, drinks are on the house. So Rodgers gets hurt, and they start running up the tab. They're buying a bunch, and then the Jets win in overtime, so they had to pay their tabs. They had people like on the news, like pregame, and they're like excited, like we're getting free beer tonight, and then they had to pay. They all ran up their bills and had to pay. Jesse texted me. This is crazy. So he had J.K. Dobbins, obviously, tear his Achilles. He says, yo. I said, what's up? We made it a rule that if our starter gets hurt, we get first dibs on their waiver wire for their backup, right? So he said, we made it a rule that if our starter gets hurt, we get first dibs on waiver wire for their backup. I said, no.
Yeah, you can go to another league with that shit.
What are you talking about? Oh yeah, you get Bijan, and if he gets hurt, you get Algier. Like, what are we talking about? You get first dibs on their backup. A lot of the backups have been drafted already.
Yeah.
Give it to Jesse. Dobbins got hurt. Like, I was like, that's part of the game. I even said, I said, why do you think I drafted Tyler Algier? Like, I was blown away. Like, what? You think you get Justice Hill and Gus Edwards?
Rule? What is he talking about?
He's asking.
Oh.
He was like, didn't we did that, right? It's like, yeah, no, never, ever did we do that.
Interesting.
It's crazy.
I'm in a league where Jesse's the commissioner. I wonder if he made that a rule.
Yeah, he was also texting me about like all of my rules. Like, so yeah, I'm the commissioner of that league, apparently. That's really all I got before we get into the recap. All in all, a good week for me. Good week betting. I'm in 2 different fantasy leagues. Got a dub in both. Saints win, LSU wins, Bama loses. All around good week. So all right, let's get into the recap. Let me looking at that. Sorry, marking timestamping so everybody can stop questioning where the timestamps are. They were there for the last episode. I didn't even say it in the beginning. Subscribe, Big Easy Bets TV on YouTube. Subscribe on Apple, Spotify. Follow us everywhere. I gave out a pick on Twitter. If you're not following us on Twitter, you missed out on a good number there. But it's still very much possibly going to be gettable throughout the week. All right, we'll go through the recap. College football. I started mine off with Notre Dame, NC State, under 51.5. Joseph, you'll probably have a different view on this game, but if there's no weather delay, this game goes under. The weather delay absolutely destroyed this under.
Yeah.
I think it was 3 points in the first quarter that were scored.
Yeah.
NC State's defense was jacked up. Sam Hartman threw a couple questionable balls. Settled in after the weather delay, I'll give him that, but was putting the ball up for grabs. NC State's defensive line was flying around. We go to a weather delay. It's like an hour and a half long.
Yep.
First play, Estime goes 80 yards. I said, motherfucker, dude. I was so pissed because I knew it. I knew it when the weather delay came. I feel like
it helped.
For me personally, I feel like it's easier for the offense to acclimate after a weather delay than it is the defense, because the offense you're going through, you're running a system and it's business. Defense, it's like you got to get fired up. You're going to fuck somebody up. Yeah. Like you got to get that adrenaline going. Not saying you don't have to for offense, but I feel like you need it more for defense. If you're a linebacker, you're going to fucking smoke somebody. Like when you're sitting around for an hour and a half and you have that adrenaline go away, it's hard to get it to come back. I didn't play football. You could speak to it more than I could, but I feel like it benefits the offensive side more.
Yeah,
than
I
it
just
does
think overall it just changes the flow of the game.
Yeah.
So if it's going one way,
well, the crowd was
we
jacked
saw
up.
it when the lights went out in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That changed the flow of that game.
Yeah, Niners got back into it.
Yep.
It changed the
flow. Oh, no,
of
I'm
this
sorry.
game.
Ravens got back into it.
Yeah, the Niners were down though.
And they made it a game?
Yeah, they
Ravens
made it
won.
a game, yeah.
Somebody got back into it. So, yeah, no, I firmly believe that this game goes under if the weather delay doesn't happen. As soon as I saw it, I was pissed. And then first play, just to stab a knife in my heart, Estime goes the distance. Nebraska plus 3.5. I'm out on fading Nebraska. I'm done. This was the most frustrating game. Because everybody who bet Colorado is like, oh, I told you. You didn't tell anybody shit. If they had any other quarterback in the country, Nebraska could win this game. Nebraska was winning at the line of scrimmage. They were bothering Shedeur Sanders. Everything that I was hoping was going to happen. Shedeur Sanders was getting pressured and was showing inaccuracies. And then Jeff Sims dropped the snap. Really 3 times he fucked up the snap. Twice he just dropped it. One time he called his guy in motion, then called Hutt, and fucking it hit the guy in motion. And then he throws the worst interception you'll see. Jeff Sims is a shitbag. He was a shitbag at Georgia Tech. I don't understand the one touchdown that he had. He took it 60 yards on a run. I don't understand why they weren't running him the whole game. Mm-hmm. Don't ever fucking let him throw. But I don't know what you can do if he can't catch a snap out of shotgun. I've never seen a quarterback just drop the snap that many times. It's like pull your hair out of your fucking head type shit, because they were moving the ball to start and then they fumble. And they were I think it was 3-0. Same thing. I think it was like 3-0 in the first quarter.
Yeah.
The defense was playing great.
It was 3-0 until 6 minutes left in the second quarter.
They could have went up double digits. Yeah. They were moving the ball every time they got it. They were dominating them in the trenches. It was, oh, dude, it was really frustrating. They were bothering Shedeur Sanders, and then the floodgates got open because, they got their field goal because Sims fumbles and they have a short field. Yeah. That's how they got any of their points, Colorado. This was an incredibly frustrating game. The reason why I bet Colorado, I saw everything that I expected to see. I didn't expect the quarterback not be able to catch the goddamn ball.
Yeah.
Catch the fucking snap. It's literally day one shit. It's rudimentary fucking hut, catch the ball. And then he turned and handed it to the running back too. They fumbled again because he didn't put it in the fucking running back's stomach. The bread basket, if you will. He like held it out here. So the running back's like this. He put the ball here. Like hits his elbow and falls down. It was mind-blowing. It was extremely frustrating. So we started the day off 0-2, and then we fucking started rattling off some winners, and it felt good. Ole Miss -7. Sometimes you got to get a little lucky. Ole Miss, 3 plays, 75 yards, touchdown in less than 1 minute. I'm like, we're going to beat them by 1 billion. They stopped scoring so fast. The final score of this game is really not indicative of how it went. I was impressed with the defense for Tulane, if I'm being completely honest. I was very impressed. You live bet this game.
Yeah.
So you had action on it too. You didn't give out a play on the podcast, but you were watching it just like I was. Ole Miss goes up 10, I believe. And then they end up letting Tulane get inside the 10, and then it's a good stand by the defense, but they allow them to kick a field goal. So then we're sitting on the number. We're up 7, which I'm like, I'll take a push. That's fine. It was a good defensive stand. It was looking like it was looking like they were going to score a touchdown and we weren't going to win the bet or push. So now we're sitting up 7. Defense gets home to the quarterback, strip sack, see you later. Touchdown. It felt good. I think they ended up winning by 17. But wait, no. I'm sorry. They're up 7. Tulane goes for the onside kick. Ole Miss gets it, doesn't get a first down, is lining up on 4th and 1. They're going to go for it, just pick it up, and then game over. False start, back them up 5 yards. 4th and 6, kicker rails like a 55-yard field goal. I was like, this is incredible. Now we just need to stop, and then we got the strip sack, so we're up 17. So score does not indicate how this game went. If they have Michael Pratt, whole different story. Even though the backup quarterback is not bad, it's the guy who they're showing highlights of him playing against Houston last year. And Lindsay's like,
I remember.
I was like, yeah, you remember that? I was like, yeah, we were at Chris Rock. I had Justin live bet me updates. That was that game. Mm-hmm. And Justin sitting there. I said, oh, dude, that was the craziest shit. I've already told the story on here. He was texting everything one word in each message.
Yeah.
So that's not what I meant.
The end.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, you can only get the final message. That is not what I meant at all, but God bless Justin. Miami, Texas A&M over 50.5. It was 48-33.
Good game.
It was a good game. Miami's good.
I think Miami's good, but I think A&M's good as well.
I was pretty impressed with Miami.
Yeah.
I got to say. But no, I don't think A&M's bad, but I was impressed with just how much Miami was able to exploit their defense.
Mm-hmm.
So,
they got some guys on offense. They have speed, they have size. And those running backs for Miami are pretty damn good.
Yeah. No, Tyler Van Dyke looked good. I mean, 48 points on a Texas A&M defense. Van Dyke had 374 yards and 5 touchdowns. So easy winner there. Then we got into the territory where we were on the same games, which I've said it before. If me and Nick were on the same games last year, we had a very high win percentage. I could find you the actual percentage, but it was very much up there. And we're off to a fantastic start this year with college football and NFL combined. Rice plus 10 was my lock of the week. It looked like they were going to beat Houston by 100 points. They go up 28-0 in the first quarter. Basically the first quarter. They scored the 4th touchdown with like a minute into the second quarter. I'm like, they're going to score 100 points. Then they didn't score another point until overtime. So they end up going to overtime and they win outright in double overtime, 43-41. It turned into a sweat all of a sudden. I was like they're not gonna. It was double digits and Houston needed to score to go. Once we went to overtime, I was like, okay, we're fine. But they were starting to threaten, and it was like Rice all of a sudden couldn't do anything on offense. But for the first 1 quarter and 1 minute, JT Daniels looked like a 5-star quarterback.
Oh yeah,
he really did look incredible. McCaffrey was a guy I touched on when I told you I liked Rice. He's the real deal as well. So he's like our size, and he's out there doing really well. So don't like Holgerson. It was a good fade spot. 10-point underdogs. They end up winning outright. And then Boise, plus 3.5. This was also a little bit of a roller coaster. Taylon Green gets hurt. We felt like Boise's defense was going to step up, which I guess they did. They were on the very fortunate side of multiple turnovers.
Yeah.
But then we had to go to the backup, Madsen. He's like 5 foot even, and this guy can play. This guy has heart. When they needed to pick up that first down and he put his head down and took a shot, I was like, we're fucking in business. I was like, I've seen this before. I've seen these guys play like this, and it's like he's got heart, and that's what you need to win these type of games, which they didn't. They lost, but we covered the spread. So that's really the only thing that matters. They lose by 2, 3.5-point underdogs. They didn't defend the blue turf, but Boise's been underdogs twice since 1999, I believe. Only 2 times. That's for a reason. They defend the blue turf. Again, they lost, but they covered the spread. So 4-2 week for me in college football. I needed it. Bounce back brings me to 7-7. 1-2 of my locks of the week. So slow starts. Good week 2. We're going to try to carry it into week 3. You went 3-1.
Yeah, I was on Rice plus 10 with you, Boise.
You got me chirped because you put plus 3.5 for Oklahoma State.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So I posted the bet. And they're like, actually, it was minus 3.5. I was like, well,
did it matter?
That's not. Yeah, I was like, luckily, it didn't make a difference. But I said that wasn't my fault.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I have Boise plus 3.5, and I had Oklahoma State minus 3.5. It was basically how I expected it to go. Rashada's just a young quarterback who's relatively undeveloped. You can tell there's upside there, and he might become good one day. I think Arizona State could be a decent program in the future. Their coach seemed like he did a pretty good job trying to keep them in the game. But at the end, Oklahoma State was able to pound it away and kind of take control of the game.
I fell asleep. I tried to stay up. I felt like I was in a
Oklahoma
dogfight.
State's running three quarterbacks
Really?
randomly out there. It's a shit show, kind of. None of them are bad, but it's just kind of weird. Sometimes you'll see teams do 2.
Yeah.
And you don't really like it. It's like they were running 3 out there.
Yeah.
They all kind of do the same shit. None of them are really bad. None of them are really great.
Yeah. Well, a 3-1 week brings you to 5-5, 1-2 in your locks of the week. Yeah, we both got back to even. So it's right on track. It's nothing. This is exactly the mold we follow year in and year out. Joseph, you swept the board.
Yep.
Joseph was the self-proclaimed NFL guy, not a college football guy, and you're sitting at 7-1.
7-2.
7-2. Ah, the
Because
ad.
of him.
Yeah. Well, nobody made you add it. I even gave you the look when you said you were adding it.
Did you?
I did.
Damn, I need to look at
I gave him a look too.
I need to look at you more.
You shouldn't add it.
Focus right here. You gotta pull one of these like down here.
So you were on the favorable side of the weather delay.
Yeah.
I still have and I'm on Notre Dame's over win total. So I don't.
Yeah, me too.
I think they're good, but I still have questions with Sam Hartman because they had him rattled in the first half or the first quarter.
Oh yeah.
They were getting to him. That was part of the reason why I was on the under because I felt like NC State's seen him before, and they did have him in tough spots. He did put the ball up. He had turnover-worthy plays in that first quarter, a couple of them.
Yeah. No, the weather delay was my saving grace for sure.
Yeah, I mean, not to say that he wouldn't have got it going in the second half.
No,
because,
but it helped their
Yeah.
team tremendously. Marcus Freeman even said it at halftime.
Really?
He's like, I'm happy this is the way it is. I like this weather delay for our team.
Yeah, I think it allowed him to settle in.
Yeah.
And yeah, so
I benefited from that. And then I was on the right side of the Colorado and Nebraska game, not the spread, but I was on the under. And as we said, it was either 3 or 6 points with 6 minutes left in the second quarter, so I was feeling good about it.
Mm-hmm.
Even though, Nebraska's defense opened up and Shador in the second half started putting in a little bit of work.
Yep.
And then my last one was kind of crazy how it turned out, the Texas and Alabama over. Because I don't know if y'all watched the whole game on that one?
Yeah.
It was 13-9 with 2 minutes left in the third quarter, and then Milroe throws that bomb. That was a good-ass throw.
It was the best
was
throw
the
he'll
best
ever
throw.
have in his entire career.
And then they just started rattling off points, just back and forth within a matter of like 4 minutes. It was, I think, like 34-17 or something.
Yeah. Texas, dude. Texas impressed me. You were just good.
Yeah, he is.
It's like
Their defense is good.
It's better than
And I thought that
better than I've
might
ever
be
seen
the
it, bro.
case from the first game against Rice.
Well, that's why I was a
But
little
it was
worried
just
when you
like
said you were taking the over.
The sample size it was.
Stopping Alabama.
Well, I know Alabama's defense is good, and then I am not high on Milroe, and it was looking like Milroe sucks, but he did. That was a dime. That was a
good ass throw.
But yeah, I mean, whatever. A win's a win.
And they have one of the better receiving cores in the nation as well.
Yeah. Yeah. You talking about Texas?
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously Xavier Worthy, and then who's the other guy? The other
Donnie
guy's
Mitchell.
Yeah. Yep.
And Whittington looks good.
God, I was watching. For some reason, I was on the McAfee broadcast. That shit sucks. It sucks. They've got them on the side, and then they're just they know none of the players. So it's like, that was a great tackle by, and he reads his name. Like, this is just
What was it for?
It's like the Manning cast, except they're on the sidelines.
No, I mean, like, what game?
Texas.
Oh, it was that game?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know. I wasn't a huge fan of that, but I'm on YouTube TV. The quad box is
It's better, right?
fantastic. Yeah. I don't really have it was buffering slightly, but not really bad.
Sometimes it does that.
I watch it on my iPad as well. That shit bothers me though, because you'll click on the game and then you're like 10 minutes behind and you don't even realize. You have to like go to live.
You always have to hit live.
But not on the TV. Not for me on the TV.
It does it sometimes on the TV.
Not for me. It hasn't yet, at least.
I always check it just in case.
Every time I click on the TV, it's live. But when I go on the iPad, it's like 15 minutes.
Like if you're watching a game, even on the TV, for me this happens.
Yeah.
And you get out of the app or the TV turns off or something. When you upload or when you put YouTube TV back on and you press that game, it'll take you to where you were at.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
All right. Anything before we dive into this week's college football slate?
Oh. No.
All right. Let's see.
Let's get it going.
Does anybody do you have Thursday games?
No,
Anybody? Friday games?
I don't.
You?
No, but I considered taking Virginia. But it was like it was a high energy game for them. First game back, I think it was the first game back on the home field, right? Since obviously the shooting and all of that.
Yeah, that was.
No, they played Tennessee at home.
The first one was? Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Many Virginia players said before the season they returned for this season, honor the lives of 3 teammates. Yeah, I don't know. There was something. I don't know. Whatever. Oh, was it one of the players were back or something? But regardless, they took James Madison to.
Yeah, he got shot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
he
I don't
was
know if
back on the field
I don't know
playing.
if he played against
played?
Tennessee or not. I know he played in this one. There was something like in a monumentous going on, like that it was going to be high energy, I guess, and they responded. They nearly beat James Madison. They lost by 1.
Yeah.
So quick turnaround, going to Maryland. I decided to stay away.
Yeah, the weather delay. They were in a weather delay too.
Yeah.
Virginia was up 12 points in the fourth quarter.
Oh, really? Pretty
They
much the
blew
entire East Coast got hit. So I stayed away. I don't have anything for Friday. So, but we can hop right into Saturday. Who's got an 11 o'clock game? Anybody?
Yeah, I got one.
What you got? I mean, yeah, you can lead the way. You're 7-2.
Yeah. This is one, I don't know. It's weird to me. I'm going to the Kansas State at Missouri game at 11.
Okay.
I'm taking Missouri plus 4.5.
I can give you a 5.
I'm taking Missouri plus 5. You got 15th ranked Kansas State, who just came off a pretty dominant win against Troy, and it's Troy. But
Troy's not bad.
Yeah, Troy's not bad, and they've been good in the past. They beat them 42-13. They beat them pretty bad, and Missouri is barely holding off Middle Tennessee last week, 23-19. I know they're at home, but I just don't know why this is at 4.5 points. I don't see any other reason. It feels fishy, so I'm gonna go the Tigers plus 4.5 at home.
Okay. What do you think? Are you on this?
No. I know
I will
I
say
live bet Troy, and they didn't cover my live bet. But I can tell you that Kansas State kind of struggled to run it with the running backs. The absence of Deuce Vaughn hasn't been filled really.
Yeah.
So,
Will Howard's been playing pretty solid.
I like Will Howard, and I was going to say I do like Kansas State. I haven't seen Missouri this year. I haven't gotten a chance to look at Missouri.
Nothing special.
It is an SEC team. It is at home.
defensively, they might have a little bit of some holes there.
Yeah. I mean, they weren't good last year. Eli Drinkfitz is still the coach?
I believe so.
Yeah, I don't really have an opinion on it because I've seen a little bit of Kansas State. I didn't look into this game. I have a small card this week. How many games do you have?
5.
Yeah, I got less than you. That's not typical.
3.
But I will add one if need be. Okay, so you're on Missouri plus 5.
Yeah.
All right, I am. Is anybody on Penn State, Illinois?
No.
Nope.
I'm taking the Nittany Lions minus 14. So
Taking them every game this year.
So okay, relax. You're all over Notre Dame. No, I mean
I'm over their win total. I like them.
I watched. Yeah, well, we did a win. Did you take them on the win total episode?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I know I
Yeah,
did.
I said I think they have a chance of even upsetting one of the two, Ohio State or Michigan.
That's crazy.
What?
No, yeah, I mean Ohio State. I don't know. We'll see. They're going with McCord. All right, so Penn State, Illinois. Getting right to it. Like I said, I'm laying the points with Penn State. No secret, I'm very high on the Nittany Lions this year. I do worry because it is a conference road game. It's the first conference road game for Drew Allar, but the way he performed against West Virginia impressed me. I mean, it really was an impressive performance. I felt like Illinois is struggling to stop the run. They allowed Toledo to go for nearly 200 yards on the ground. They did make a second half turnaround against Kansas. It looked like Kansas was going to run them out of the building, and then their defense really kind of made some adjustments, I guess, and was having success stopping Kansas. But this is a much different team with Penn State. They have two dominant running backs, and the third is more than capable. Allar looked great against West Virginia. Obviously, he looked great last week. He's got 529 yards on the year, 4 touchdowns. But the big thing here, the defense, I don't know how Illinois is going to find themselves in the end zone. This is a really, really good Penn State defense. They're still, even with losing Joey Porter Jr. and losing guys in the secondary, they've still got guys back there. They've got great linebacking play. They're good in the trenches. I think it's going to be a tough day for Illinois scoring the ball. It's an 11 o'clock game, so it's not a night game on the road or anything like that. I don't think Illinois is very good. They were getting pushed around, manhandled by Kansas in the trenches. I'm taking Penn State minus 14. So, do you have an opinion on it?
Yeah, I would go with Penn State.
It's one of those, like, it worries me. It's 2 touchdowns, but I don't see a path to them.
Who did Illinois play before they played Kansas?
Toledo. That's what I said. Toledo
yeah,
ran all
Illinois'
over them.
defense isn't very good this year.
And that used to be kind of what they had to lean on. So, yeah, no, they let Toledo run all over them. So, I don't see a path to Allar would have to really struggle. Mm-hmm. And he looked good, dude. The mobility, he's got the arm talent to make any throw.
Oh, yeah.
It's impressive. I said after that first game, you can just tell. We've been watching it long enough. Like, you can tell the way some of these guys move in the pocket, and you can tell the ones that are panicking. You can tell the ones that are built for the moment. He seems like he is. Obviously, it's still early. He could change my opinion. But yeah, I'm taking Penn State with the points, minus 14. What's your first Saturday game?
Kind of going to be short and sweet here. Alabama minus 32 at USF. USF is a team that was outgained by Florida A&M University last week. I think Bama hits hard here, hits back.
I was so close to doing it.
I'm laying 32.
I'm going to add it. I'm adding it as well.
I'm not.
Yeah, it's a get right spot for Bama. After what just happened.
I love get right spots. I'm not doing it. I love them. I absolutely love get right spots. I'm struggling.
I am also going to take LSU with the points. Minus 9. It's down to 9 now. Mississippi State is not really that good. They nearly just lost to Arizona.
Yeah.
which we talked about Arizona. Arizona's not a bad football team. But Mississippi State, it's a morning game. LSU, the room for error with LSU is gone. Out the window. You have no more room for error. We have guys at the skill positions. It was a tale of two halves against Florida State. So if you look at that first half, we were winning. We were bothering Jordan Travis. You've now got Mason Smith to go with Wingo on the D-line. Harold Perkins, let's actually let him do what he wants to do and is best at.
Did they play at all? I didn't watch any of the Grambling State game.
I didn't watch much either, if I'm being honest. I know we covered the spread. It was like 50.
Because I was wondering if they played, if Perkins did anything differently or not.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm sure he
they
played.
used him a little differently, it seemed, but
it's going to be
Grambling State was able to move the ball on us in the first half, especially.
Yeah, but that stopped pretty quick. They gashed us for a couple runs, but I mean, we beat them.
I mean, they were throwing it on us as well.
I know. Well, I know they had like
the secondary for LSU. The cornerbacks is still an issue.
I think he had like a 60-yard run at one point. But regardless, I mean, it's like a 50-point spread or 42-point spread we covered.
We have 56. They covered it.
Was it 56?
Yeah.
Dude, that's yeah.
Nussmeier played a good bit, huh?
Yeah, he did okay.
What do you mean okay? That's your guy.
I don't know. I didn't really see much.
Yeah.
I don't think they'd let him throw it.
No, yeah.
They don't want to have to bench Daniel.
Yeah. All right, don't go. Just hand it to the running backs. We don't need a controversy. Yeah, no, I was fighting for my life on Saturday after starting 0-2, so I really didn't. Yeah, 72-10. We put up 72 points. Daniels had 269 yards, 5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I understand. I know they let Denver Harris play. Brian Kelly said positive things about him and that he wants to be coached. You can tell, and so that's good. And I was talking with a couple people about it. The corners weren't in bad position against Florida State. They were just outmatched.
They're too small.
That Keon Coleman touchdown, I think it was Chestnut. Yeah, he had his hand, dude. He had it. I said it in real time. I was like, I don't know how he caught it because he goes here. The guy's hand is in between, and then he rakes through, and he still somehow is able to maintain the possession of the ball. So it was just kind of. It wasn't like really that bad of coverage. They were just outmatched. Rodgers, it's a little different. Will Rodgers is going to want to get the ball out very fast, and they run their specific offense, which I feel like if you scheme for it right, they pretty much go nowhere. So, I just think we still have guys. We were with Florida State in that first half. Could be a completely different game if we execute in the red zone, or if Perkins is able to come down with that interception inside the 10-yard line. And like I said, the room for error is gone. LSU has to handle business. So I'm taking LSU -9. What's your next one, Joseph? You have one more and then you lock?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's the night game. It's we just kind of touched on them a little bit. It's Fresno State at Arizona State. Saturday at 8:30 p.m. I am going to the Bulldogs in this game, -3 on the road. Nick talked about it a little bit with Arizona State. They show a lot of potential. They're not a bad team. Their defense is pretty solid, 25th ranked total defense so far this year. But I like the Bulldogs too much. I like Mikey Keene. I like this offense moving down the road. Moving down the field on the road. Their defense concerns me a little bit. The Bulldogs' defense, they've been pretty suspect this year. In the first game, I was on that over. They gave up 35 to Purdue. And then last week, I don't know what the hell happened in the second half.
That's entirely why I'm staying away from this game.
I hear you. I get it.
They probably should have lost to Eastern Washington.
Dude, they gave up 3 points in the first half, and then who knows what the hell happened. They just softened up, and Eastern Washington comes roaring back, and they bring it to overtime. The Bulldogs ended up winning by 3 in overtime.
Double overtime.
But I think Tedford gets his guys right, and he gets that addressed and cleaned up for this game. And I don't see the inexperienced Jaden Rashada having a whole lot of success this game. But I like the Bulldogs to be able to cover that 3 points on offense.
Yeah, I mean, I was impressed with Fresno. Obviously, week 1 against Purdue.
Yeah, last week.
But, I mean, I don't know. Eastern Washington, who the fuck is Eastern Washington?
Well, and you're going Cooper Kupp.
You're going to double overtime with them. The offense had its struggles. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously, I was looking at it, certainly. Fresno was a team that I'm going to keep my eye on. You got a first-hand look. You got a much better look than I did at Arizona State.
Yeah.
So I know people are high on Rashada. He was at Florida.
He was the guy that they were going to give $10 million to, and then they couldn't find it. So he left. Remember?
I do kind of remember that now. Where'd that go? Can you still stay? Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, about that. That wasn't real. We don't have $10 million.
Oh, man. They're like, please. Graham Mertz is here. We saw him throw a couple. Come on. Don't go anywhere. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'll definitely keep my eye on it because I was very impressed with Fresno's offense. Going on the road, night game. I don't know. We'll see. It's one that I'm going to keep my eye on for sure. So I have one more and then my lock. How many more do you have? You got a couple more.
I have 2 more games, 3 more plays.
Okay.
Gotcha. I only have to break down 2 games.
Okay, so your lock is in one
and
of 2?
And then I have one more after that for my lock.
Okay, so give us whatever you want then, because I'm confused.
Okay, Minnesota.
I'm confused as shit.
I don't know how many.
You just put that.
You
was
have
so
4 left.
confusing.
4 plays, 3 games, 1 lock.
Gotcha.
Go.
Okay, Minnesota at UNC. UNC 7.5-point favorites. The big question here is how good is North Carolina's rush defense against South Carolina? They allow -2 rushing yards, and then last week against App State.
Can I chime in real quick? So it is misleading because I was looking at that. It's misleading because they took the sack yards.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Against App State, they allowed 219 rushing yards, 5 yards per carry. Regardless, this is going to be a frustrating game either way, you bet. I feel like it could be. I mean, but I'm going to go ahead and take points here. I'm taking Minnesota plus 7.5. I mentioned it in last week's recap. I think Minnesota, the offense, has potential to put it together. So that's what we're betting on here. We think Minnesota's going to muddy the game up behind the Big O line and the defense. We're taking Minnesota plus 7.5.
I mean, we talked about it. The kid Calcasu. He was able.
Kaliak Manis.
Kaliak Manis. He was able to move the chains for multiple different throws.
Yeah, they had a very good third down conversion rate against Nebraska.
And it wasn't like they were ahead of the chains. It was like 3rd and 8 in plus, and he was converting. So, that's the shit you look for. At least me. I look for like, okay, if it's 3rd and long, is it a formality? Should we just punt? Like, and the guys who can make stuff happen, move out of the pocket, and find a guy and keep the chains moving. Whenever it's like 3rd and 2, you run the ball, you pick it up, great. But I'm more concerned with 3rd and long and put in tough situations.
Yeah, Minnesota's it's a team that's going to stay true to its identity, whether it's working. So they're going to pound it. Hopefully the defense can hold up here, and eventually Minnesota kind of controls time of possession here, keeps the ball out of North Carolina's hands, and can keep this game close.
Yeah. Okay, I have one more and then my lock. Nick has... You could have 7 more and then your lock. I have no idea. North Texas versus Louisiana Tech. Through 2 games, North Texas's defense has given up a whopping 591.5 yards per game. Basically 600 yards per game they're allowing on defense. Probably the worst defense in the country. Hank Bachmeier has been nothing short of underwhelming, but if there was ever an opportunity to start clicking, it's this week. I have hitched my wagon to Hank Bachmeier for better or for worse many years ago. If you followed this podcast from day one, you know what Hank Bachmeier has done for me and my pocketbook. Louisiana Tech is coming off a game against Northwestern where they ran for 367 yards, 9 yards per carry, and they have a dynamic weapon on the outside in Smoke Harris, arguably the fastest wide receiver in the country. You can say North Texas was just outclassed by Cal, but then they allowed one of the worst teams in the country in FIU to go for 514 yards and 46 points. I worry about Tech's defense a little bit. I worry about Bachmeier's struggles a little bit. Pound the rock, run the ball, get ahead of the chains, make life easy for Hank Bachmeier. If they're not going to start clicking now, they never will. I'm taking Louisiana Tech -4 at home. Go ahead.
James Madison at Troy. Troy's 2-point favorites. James Madison surrendered 35 points last week against Virginia. Troy allowed Kansas State to score 42. Even though that's the case, I still think these defenses are better than they've been advertised through both of those games. Traditionally, the defenses on these teams are very good. Neither of these offenses are really prolific. James Madison leans on the run. Troy leans on the run. Troy passes it a little bit more balanced offense than James Madison. But so I'm going with the under 48, and then I'm also going to lay the 2 with Troy.
Okay, so you have just your lock left.
Yep.
Okay, under 48, laying the 2 with Troy. Everybody's just down to the locks, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, y'all know what time it is.
It's a lock, Kramer. You've had this thing under control for almost 3 years now. But it's a lock.
They need that fucking juice. They need that next bet. They need. Come on. Yes! When they win, they go fucking crazy.
You're a bad motherfucker. Go in that shower, grab your fucking nuts, and tell the world somebody's sniffing my fucking nutsack today. Cause I ain't got time to fuck around no more.
All right, for my lock of the week, I'm going to Oregon State versus San Diego State. I tweeted this pick out. I'm taking the Beavers minus 24 in Corvallis. A small sample size, but the Beavers have looked good. DJ Ungalele deserves a apology from a lot of people, including myself. San Diego State's not a good team. Both of their wins, one-score games, one in which Ohio lost their quarterback in Rourke. They probably lose that game. UCLA just beat San Diego State on their home field 35-10. That's with fumbling twice, one time inside their own 15-yard line and the other time inside San Diego State's 10-yard line. Jalen Maiden is the main focal point of San Diego State's offense. Quarterback, and he's their leading rusher. Cordero is a close comparison. He's the closest comparison Oregon State's seen. A mobile quarterback, mobile enough, and a decent passer, which Maiden is not. They did a good job containing Cordero. So I'm taking Oregon State minus 24. I think we see them running up here. They look very good. They could arguably the best team in the Pac-12 outside of USC. Oregon State minus 24, my lock of the week.
Yeah, I would say that Oregon State's victory over San Jose State's more impressive than USC's.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I feel like, their defense is not good. Their offense is not good. San Diego State, you're low on San Diego State this year. You bet they're under win total, right? So I don't see, and it's a very low total. I think they're, judging by that, they're anticipating it to be like, I'd written it down. It was like 35 to 11, something like that, in that range. They're not expecting San Diego State to score 2 touchdowns. So I think Oregon State's going to be able to put some points up on the board, points in bunches. UCLA, they didn't really have much of an answer for them. UCLA was running it on them, running some wacky formations. I really do think DJ Ungalele deserves an apology from a lot of people after seeing what we're seeing at Clemson. And then now he's going to Oregon State and he looks good. So I think this is a good opportunity. They're in Corvallis. It's a tough place to play. It's a 2:30 game. I'd rather it be a night game, but 24 doesn't feel like enough. So, and I tweeted this out and it's moving in that direction. So
yeah,
that's why I tweeted this one out early. I felt like I had a feeling this was going to go. So yeah, Oregon State minus 24 is my lock of the week. Where are you going?
Number 14th ranked LSU, minus 9 on the road against Mississippi State. I know everybody's in panic mode about LSU. They lose by 21 to Florida State, but when you look at it, I said it last week, the box score of this game is a lot closer than the score indicates. First downs, LSU was ahead 23-22. Yards were really close, 459 to 494. And like I said earlier, the struggles in the secondary continued against Grambling, even though it was a 72-10 win. I think it's too early to cast judgment. I think a lot of people see the Florida State score and are writing LSU off. And then, like you said, Mississippi State last week against Arizona. Arizona turned the ball over 5 times. A lot of them were extremely lucky. But you look at the box score, Arizona had 23 first downs to Mississippi State's 16. 431 yards for Arizona to Mississippi State's 307. I think this game's kind of being overlooked. It was 10, it's 9 now. And when it's 9, we're going to make them pay. LSU minus 9 is the lock of the week.
Yeah, would you try to dupe me? You're like, the secondary sucks. I'm like, it does kind of suck. I'm over here like, shit, second guessing. I love it.
I think Mississippi State is is trash.
Yeah, me too. Good. Yeah, you're like, oh, secondary is terrible. I'm like, fuck. No, that's a good sign. If you're listening right now, like I said, last week, we had 3 games that we were in agreement on, 3-0. Last year, if we're in agreement on games, it typically goes well. So, and if it's a lock, if we have a lock, granted it's not my lock, but Rice was my lock last week. You were on Rice. LSU's your lock this week. I'm on LSU. That means good things are ahead and good things are coming for the Tigers. So, Joseph, what is your lock of the week?
My lock of the week is going to be in the Syracuse going to West Lafayette playing the Purdue Boilermakers. I'm going to go, I know it's a high total, I'm going to go to over 59.5 points here. Purdue's defense, they played a little bit better this past week against Virginia Tech. Take that how you take it, but it played much better than it did in week 1 against Fresno State after giving up 39 points. But they have another real test here, again, with a powerful Syracuse offense led by Garrett Schrader. This will be the Oranges and Schrader's first real test for this season after obliterating bullshit teams in Colgate and Western Michigan. But I like Syracuse to be able to move the ball downfield and score points, similar to how Fresno State did against Purdue in West Lafayette, which they'll be there again. I think Schrader's mobility will soften up this defense and open up the field to move the ball and score a lot of points. On the other side of the ball, for Purdue, we saw the run game open up this past week against Virginia Tech with 43 carries for 184 yards and 3 touchdowns on the ground. Hudson Card took care of the ball. Although he didn't have any passing touchdowns, he took care of the ball, so that's important to me here. If they can establish the run early again, I think it'll help Hudson Card, much like it will Schrader, open up this offense and score points on the other end as well. So I think there is going to be a lot of offense in this game, so give me the over 59.5 points.
Okay, there you go.
You bet the over in this game last year.
That's right.
Oh,
Remember?
Yeah. And you were on Purdue?
Syracuse.
Syracuse.
It was a miracle that we both won.
Yeah,
That
but
was
y'all were
incredible.
like y'all were doing something. I was like, y'all can both win.
Yeah, well, we started.
Y'all were like rooting against each other, and y'all like, wait a second, because y'all were.
Well, Syracuse was up 10,
Yeah.
and I was like, I don't want any more points scored.
Yes.
I want to win.
Yes.
And it
he's
took a
rooting for
miracle
points.
for Syracuse. It was like we were rooting against each other, and then at the very end, we were rooting on the same side.
Throw it in the end zone.
It was such a crazy game.
That was nuts.
All right, let's recap. That is our best bets of the week for college football. Let's see, starting it off. Penn State -14. I'm on LSU -9. Bama -32. Taylor Nick there. LA Tech -4. And my lock of the week is the Oregon State Beavers -24.
LSU -9. It's the lock of the week. Alabama -32. We're going Minnesota +7.5. We're taking Troy -2, and we're taking the James Madison Troy under 48.5.
Saturday morning, 11 a.m., I'm taking the Missouri Tigers +5. Then Saturday night at 8:30, I'm taking the Fresno State Bulldogs -3. And for my lock of the week, I'm taking the over 59.5 in the Syracuse and Purdue game.
Alrighty, there you go. It's a small card, pretty much for us this week. I said I was going to try to be more aggressive this year, but and I will be going forward. I didn't really love the board this week, but I think we got quality plays all throughout. So
Yeah, I didn't like on first glance. I was like, oh shit, what
no, it took me a little while.
these
Typically,
are shit games.
I was up till midnight last night.
typically I will have a few that stick out right off the bat that I'm like, I know, like, okay, I'm going to go. But it took a little bit more digging this time for sure. So, but I feel like we did a decent job of getting where we needed to be. All right, let's recap the NFL. Great week for you. You're back to your 3-0 bullshit. Let's see. Sorry, I'm looking at one thing. All right, so we started off with the Thursday game. Lions and Chiefs. I didn't like this game at all. I would have, under no normal circumstances, would I have picked this game. But the Lions were clearly the play in hindsight, which we'll get to that because y'all were on opposites. But I took the over 53. Fumble in the red zone for the Lions, but really it didn't. It was pretty much dead in the water pretty quick. Then I had the Bears -1 The Bears stink. I thought the Bears were going to be better than they were. They stink. Chase Claypool, get that sack of shit off of the field. Chase Claypool stinks. Jordan Love and the Packers, it's same old song and dance. The Packers take care of the Bears. It was a back-and-forth game to start, and then the Bears just rolled over in the second half. It was pretty disappointing to see. Chargers-Dolphins over 51, easy money. There was a lot of points scored in this. This one hit in the third quarter with plenty of time to go. Browns plus 2.5 was my lock of the week. The Browns were getting points on their home field in the rain. The Browns won 24-3. A dominant showing. Just the style of play, which, granted, the Bengals look like shit. They looked very out of sync. I don't think that's going to be indicative of what we see the remainder of the year, obviously. But a tough start for the Bengals. 2-2 for me. But we hit the lock of the week easily. 24-3 as an underdog outright win. You go 3-0 across the board. Let's talk about the Thursday game because y'all were on opposites. I'll let you start. What'd you think?
What do you think?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
Fuck Kadarius Toney.
Yeah. Okay. So that is. I felt like.
Up.
Yeah.
This could have easily went the Chiefs' way. Let's not sugarcoat it.
Yeah, but I don't know that they would have covered.
I'm not saying they would have. But
Yeah,
they
but you think if
easily
that
could
was in Kelsey's hands,
it's being dropped?
yeah,
Hell no.
then
I hear you.
Wait,
All right?
what do you mean?
I get what you're saying. I know. Shut up.
Oh, yes.
Shut
No, so
up.
that's what.
Don't even.
But also,
fucking-
too, we didn't even hardly touch on it. This is what I was talking with him about. Chris Jones being out, in my opinion, is equally as important, if not more important, than Travis
How are you
Kelce.
sitting out there on the sideline just watching your team go to battle?
Shit, it worked. You got more money.
What kind of damn teammate are you?
He said, hey.
you gotta pay the man.
Where's
his
the love of
money.
the game?
No,
man?
yeah.
These guys don't care anymore.
Yeah, then you snap your Achilles like Aaron Rodgers and nobody cares
Oh, yeah.
anymore.
Ronnie Lott freaking said, cut the finger off. I'm going back out there.
Yeah, we don't even
Where's
know if
that
that's
day of
true.
football?
Yeah, it's gone. It's
gone.
It's too much money to be made now. Pay the guy. Why are you not paying him?
No, I hear you. It's a
Because
business. I get it. It's a business.
Jared Goff had a clean pocket all night. They had no interior pressure.
Yeah.
Literally none. So it was like he was up there counting dollar signs because he was like watching. He could have made a huge difference in that game. He's the best defensive tackle in football. So when you take quarterback out of the equation and you have your best offensive player and your best defensive player not on the field, that's not good. So, and Travis Kelce, I mean, you said it. You asked the question, how much do you value Travis Kelce? How many points would you value Travis Kelce?
Yeah.
And after
right.
seeing that now, I mean, I would say 2.5, 3 points.
Yeah, you're right.
That he is the catalyst for their offense. You take him out and you have Kadarius Toney wearing mittens out there, and it's a tough night. Kadarius Toney had the worst performance you might ever see.
Yeah.
You're right. He does make that much of a difference. But bottom line is, they could have covered.
They could have
That's
won.
a ball through his hands.
I don't
That's
know
a
that
pick
they.
six.
I don't know. Well, how much did the Lions win by?
One.
Okay.
It's a ball through his hands that turns into 7 for the Lions, and then the last drive.
Yeah.
You don't know, they could have gone and scored a touchdown if he catches that ball.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. But the Lions did fumble in the red zone, which
Yeah.
is it could have been a different story there.
Yeah, it's woulda, coulda, shoulda. I understand.
And that's it. The
play with
the
the
margin for error in the NFL is so much more slim than college football.
Yeah.
That's why you've said it.
Yeah, one mistake.
Yeah, it can come down to a penalty. It could be a pass interference,
Yeah.
deciding factor of the game. In the talent discrepancy is so much different that getting 5 points. I mean, which it was 7, so obviously it came down with Kelce. But yeah, no, they rely a lot on Travis Kelce. They don't have guys. That goes to show you how much more important Travis Kelce is than Tyreek Hill. Mm-hmm. He is the most important player on that offense, not named Patrick Mahomes. So,
Sure.
yeah, so it was a good win for you. You sweep the board. You were also on the Browns plus 2.5. So 3-0 on combined picks there. 49ers, Steelers under 41.
I was worried because Niners was scoring a lot of points.
Yeah. Yeah. Luckily, Kenny Pickett had a tough day at the office. They showed a replay. He got his head slammed in the turf. So they think he's concussed. Deadass serious.
Seriously?
Yeah. Well, they're saying like he got hit and I mean he slammed his head down. And then they're like all of a sudden he's throwing it to the wrong team. So they were questioning, was he concussed?
What do you think about that, Nate?
I don't know.
Well, let's talk about Matt Corral because he's going AWOL. You see that?
Yeah.
He's gone. He literally he ghosted the team. You saw that, right?
Yeah, he's
Panthers?
dealing with something.
No, he went to the Patriots. He got released from the Panthers.
Oh,
Patriots
wow.
picked him up, and then he went AWOL. I haven't heard from him. Career's over. Okay, you're hoping Kenny Pickett doesn't make the Pro Bowl now. And Anthony Richardson's
That's
hurt.
what I was betting on.
And Anthony Richardson's hurt.
Pickett's a bum.
Hey, Richardson's a running back. But yeah, so I mean, just if you listened to us last year, you know that 3-0 is pretty much just another day at the office for Nick. He did it for a large portion of the beginning of the season. So we'll see if you can continue. You were the self-proclaimed NFL guy last year.
You sure I didn't say props?
No, I'm 1,000% positive you didn't say props. You didn't give out a single prop. So, tough day at the office for you, NFL.
Yeah, it was. It was. I should have stuck with my gut in that Chargers-Dolphins game. I told you about it. I had all intentions to take the over, and then I was like, oh, the Chargers, they got some guys on defense, man, up front. And they don't have shit. They suck.
Yeah, they do have guys, but it was a really rough day. But the Dolphins cannot stop the fucking run
No.
at all.
Eckler and Kelly were getting whatever they wanted.
Yeah, they could not stop the run at all. And people are comparing stats for Herbert and Tua. So I'm like kind of pump the brakes a little bit because the Chargers were running down their throat. So,
Yeah.
but Tua did look good, and it's tough to stop Waddle and mainly Tyreek Hill. So,
Yeah, and then the Saints -3 was my other one.
yeah, I really did. But I do feel like the absence of Alvin Kamara and Kendrick Miller make life very tough. So, again, obviously, margin for error is very slim in the NFL. The Saints very well could have covered that game. And then,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, what about the field goal, though?
what?
Down 4 to kick the field goal. There were some people complaining about that.
We kicked it?
Mike Variable.
Yes.
If they would have gone for it and failed,
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
that covered that the Saints
Wait.
would have covered.
Titans were down 4.
I think there was
Oh,
just over
16 to
2
12,
minutes.
16 to 12.
Yeah.
2
Yes.
minutes left.
Yes. Yeah, that's why we were in the position where Carr threw the deep ball to seal the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
How far of a down was it?
I don't know.
I don't
It just
remember.
was strange because there was like 2 minutes left.
It was
and
manageable.
They were down
it
by
was
4.
It was definitely manageable.
I mean, what's like your limit there? You know, like 4th and 10?
Well, I mean, I guess the defense was doing a good job, but it's like they were doing a good job in the red zone.
Yeah.
They weren't really doing a good job of stopping us in between the 20s. Like, so let's see. I'll pull it up. And play-by-play, they took a field goal. It was 4th and 6 at our 11-yard line.
Wow.
29-yard field goal.
How much time?
2 minutes and 17 seconds.
Wow.
So you had the 2-minute warning. I don't remember if they had timeouts. I'm assuming they did.
So I had a shot.
Yeah, if they would have went for it and failed.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, pretty much game
But
over.
they were playing to cover.
Yeah.
I respect it.
on the game.
I respect it.
Yeah.
Launch
I
an
don't.
investigation, I say.
No, because then you got to investigate James Franklin and you got to dig deep in a.
Yeah, but he's already winning.
What do you mean?
We're investigating this coach for not trying to win the game, just trying to cover.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I guess that's true. All right, so we look ahead to
Thursday.
yes, we look ahead to Thursday night football. Does anybody feel good about it? It is the Vikings and Eagles. Philly 7-point favorites on their home field. Over under sits at 49. Does anybody feel good?
I don't think so. 'Cause
The
I have no
Vikings
idea.
just lost to the fucking Buccaneers by 3. Justin Jefferson looked like the best receiver in football in the first half, and then they just stopped going his way in the second half.
Yeah.
The Eagles didn't blow me away. I understand Patriots have a good defense.
Yeah.
A good defense. It's the real deal. They win 25-20. I am going to go back to a primetime over. I'm going to take over 49. I think that, one, I'm hoping for a little more target share for Jordan Addison because he looked good. I don't like this game either, dude. The Thursday, I don't know. It's a good matchup, I guess, but it's a funky game to bet, if you ask me. I don't like the 7 points with Philly. But yeah, I'm going over 49. What say you?
Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm doing the same thing.
Okay. I'm doing it. What about you, Joseph?
I'm on the Eagles.
Mm.
Look, you just said I don't like this game. I'm not really a big fan of this game, but if anything, I can see the Eagles somewhat piecing it back together. Easier challenge going up against a Vikings defense as opposed to, like you spoke on, that tough Belichick-led defense in New England. So I think they'll have a little bit more success. I think Hurts can get the ball downfield and score like we saw a lot last year. I'd say he sort of gets back on track here. I mean, he fumbled late in that game. I don't think we'll see that again. You don't see that often from Hurts. And I think the front seven will cause a little more havoc for Cousins. I didn't see the second fumble, but I know he fumbled twice. One of them he just literally dropped the snap.
Yeah.
But I didn't see the other one if it was pressure from the Bucs or so. But I think the Eagles front seven can get there and cause some havoc in the backfield. So I'm gonna take them -7.
Well, I hope they don't, because we're on the over. So unless if they're going to, just let them score a lot, and then they can
score
and then they can get there.
45.
Yeah, I don't love the Thursday game. I'm gonna be honest. So, but all right, move on to Sunday. Does anybody? Well, yeah, I'm sure we do. Give me your first. How many total do you have?
3 again.
Okay. I have 1, 2, 3, and then my lock. So starting it off, do I have anything in the early slate? I do. I am taking I'm going to go with Cincinnati in a bounce back spot. They look like shit, but it was raining. It was a funky environment. It was an environment that favored the Browns for sure. The Bengals defense was hanging in there for a large portion of the game, and then it got out of hand a little bit, and Burrow didn't look spectacular. T. Higgins didn't have a catch. But the Ravens didn't look great against the Texans. Lamar Jackson had 169 yards and an interception, and then they lost their starting running back. So Zay Flowers looked good. But I think this is a good spot for the Bengals at home. I'm going to lay the 3.5. I was not very impressed with the Ravens, if I'm being completely honest. I mean, you're playing one of the worst teams in the league. I understand they beat them 25-9, but Lamar Jackson, like I said, really didn't blow me away, and they're going to struggle to run the ball without Dobbins again, who I feel really bad for. That sucks because he is a talented running back, and you've got multiple season-ending injuries now. I don't know how you really come back from it, but we'll see. Give me the Bengals -3.5. You on this game?
No.
So you disagree?
I don't, but I just don't know about it.
I prefer a 3, but
Yeah.
which I'm going to confirm, make sure I can't get that. But yeah, I mean, do you think? I don't think since he's going 0-2 to start. You know?
Yeah.
Are you on this game, Joseph? No. Oh, good. I'll do it myself. I can get a 3. Over at, looks like, yeah, DraftKings, which I just downloaded and did not have success with my theory that I was going with last night. DraftKings gives you a 8. Actually, no, I'm not giving them free shot.
Okay.
Fuck them. All right, what's your first Sunday game?
Browns at Steelers. Gonna take the Browns here.
Okay.
Led the 2.5.
So not your first Sunday game. You're going Monday.
Oh, okay. I only have 2.
I'm on the Browns as well. I'm going back to the well. Steelers didn't look good. If Kenny Pickett is in fact concussed, great. Not for the long run because I need him to make the Pro Bowl, but for this Monday night game, I don't feel like, regardless of the fact that I think Kenny Pickett is going to be a solid enough quarterback in the NFL, I don't think that their offense just doesn't move the needle for me, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of people are enamored with George Pickens. I don't think George Pickens is – I think he's one of those like can make spectacular plays, but he's not like a consistently good receiver. Could be wrong. Could definitely be wrong. Najee Harris has had a drastic drop off in production from his rookie season. Granted, we're one game into this year. He could have a great year. But the Browns defense is very good. They probably have the best defensive player in Myles Garrett. Aaron Donald, who looked great last week, is, I guess, probably giving that crown away. I would think if it's going anywhere, it's going to Myles Garrett. They have guys in the secondary that played very well. Locked up T. Higgins. I get it was raining. But they made plays. And this is a good chance for Deshaun Watson to reintroduce himself to the league. Monday Night Football. So, yeah, I'm on the Browns as well.
To me, it's just the Browns are good.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's realized totally yet by everybody. But, yeah.
It's about to be.
Steelers aren't.
It's not because of the quarterback play, though. Are you on this, Joseph?
No.
Okay. How many total do you have?
I got a 2-for-1 and then my lock.
Okay. Give us your 2-for-1.
Okay. The highest scoring game all last year, the Seahawks at the Detroit Lions. I'm going to take the Lions minus 5.5. Maybe it's a little bit of revenge for last week. I don't know. But I'm also going to take the under 47 here. After what we saw from Seattle last week. That was terrible. I don't think anybody saw that coming. 30-13.
No.
Rams beat the Seahawks. They couldn't stop Matthew Stafford moving the ball down the field in that run game in the red zone. So I expect Montgomery and Gibbs to have some good games on the ground here, and Goff to move the ball just like Stafford did. But I don't think the Seahawks will have much success, just like last week. I think it'll be a game for them just like last week, where they don't score a lot of points. So I got the under 47 and the Lions minus 5.5.
Yeah, I would definitely lean under. I don't know how I necessarily feel about the spread. It's a weird spot. I think it could be. I feel like there's less overreaction, like room for overreaction in the NFL as there is college. But I do feel like it is a little bit of an overreaction. The Seahawks, I mean, their secondary's trash.
Their defense is not good.
Their secondary's really bad. But they do still have weapons. Kenneth Walker looked good. Kenneth Walker was running the ball really well. They still have DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, and I don't know if Lockett got hurt or anything like that. But they have weapons on the outside. The offensive line didn't have a good day. No, it was alarming. Geno Smith didn't look good. I started him in fantasy because the Rams' defense is supposed to be the worst defense in the league. He started out well, touchdown to DK Metcalf, and that was it. But it is a weird spot. It was a big win for the Lions. Obviously going on the road, beating the Chiefs. I do like the fact that the Lions have extra days of rest since their game was on Thursday. I don't know. Do you have an opinion on this? Are you on it?
No.
No opinion either?
Yeah, I don't really have an opinion on this game particularly.
Well, we're here to talk about our opinions. Did you see it? Well, y'all didn't see the Seahawks. Well, no, you definitely didn't see the Seahawks game.
I didn't get to really see the Seahawks game.
Yeah, I don't know. It was weird. It was really weird how much success that the Rams were having.
They weren't able to run it very well, though.
The Rams, you're saying?
Yeah.
They did in the red zone, though.
Yeah, I mean, who was it? Kyron Williams, he looked good.
Yeah, and they
Cam Akers, what is going on?
He had 22 carries for 29 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
and
weird.
Then they found another Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, I mean, we knew about Puka Nacua from BYU.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, I didn't.
I've watched him he was good.
Yeah, he played really well.
Jaron Hall's favorite target. No, he was good. I wasn't blown away by that, but when Cooper Kupp's not there, there's more targets to go around. So, yeah, I don't know. I'll definitely keep an eye on it for sure. All right, I am going to take – how many more do you have? Just your lock?
Yeah.
I'm going to go to the Jets, getting 9.5. Going to Dallas, afternoon game. That defense is fucking good. They are going to fire those guys up knowing that Rodgers is not there. The defense is going to play good. The Cowboys, I understand they just beat the Giants by 40. They got a blocked field goal that they returned for a touchdown. They had, I want to say, was it a pick six or a scoop and score?
Pick six.
Dak Prescott was 13 to 24, 143 yards. He didn't have to do anything. That didn't answer any questions, really. If that makes sense. Yeah, exactly. No, yeah. Pollard looked good, which that was to be expected. But this Jets defense is really good. Really good. Quinnen Williams is a man amongst boys. So I don't feel like that was really like – I feel like this – everyone's going to take the Cowboys, I think. I think this is a spot for the Jets.
Yeah.
To cover this game. With a defense like that, with a running back like that, Breece Hall looked fucking spectacular. I was messing with Ryan because he's big on Breece Hall, so he's fucking slow. His top end speed's gone. He was getting hawked down. He should have had 2 carries for fucking 200 yards or 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. He really should have. If he had top end speed, he's gone. He's slow. But no, yeah, I think this is a spot for the Jets. The total's only 39.5. So clearly, I mean, they're like, this Zach Wilson guy fucking sucks. I understand that the Cowboys defense is good. I think that the Jets, this could be eerily reminiscent of when we played the Cowboys with Taysom Hill, and it was like Taysom Hill turned it over 4 times, and we lost by, it was like 16 to 12 or some shit. Mm-hmm. It reminds me, I think that's a type of game that we could see. The Cowboys didn't really have to show you anything on offense. It's hard to say that. I'm not saying they're not for real. I think they're better than they were last year. I just think that this game is, the Jets defense will keep them within a score here. So I'm going to take the Jets plus 9.5. What do we have? Just locks left?
Yeah.
All right. Best bets in the NFL.
It's a lock, Kramer. You've had this thing under control for almost 3 years now. But it's a lock.
They need that fucking juice. They need that next bet. They need. Come on. Yes! When they win, they go fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to like it. I'm going Chiefs -3 on the road against Jacksonville. I'm taking Jacksonville +3. I think they're just being overlooked. Everybody's here. Everybody and their mom's going to be betting the Chiefs. Kelsey's back. Who cares? Chris Jones back. Who cares? Jacksonville is that good. I don't think they should be giving up this many points at home, so I'm going to take Jacksonville +3.
It's my lock as well. Oh, man. I mean, things are just shaping up. I wanted to, can't get anything better than a 3. So, everything you just say, I second it. I think the Jags are good. It was one of the teams I was the highest on when we did our futures episode. Is Kelsey back? Have you seen? Don't care. I don't care.
I know.
They have weapons.
Yeah.
You know who Jags have? Calvin Ridley, who looks just as good as when he fucking left because he had a mental breakdown and a gambling addiction. Mm-hmm. So Jags +3 at home. You got to put value into the home field advantage. I agree. I think people are going to jump all over the Chiefs. Trevor Lawrence didn't look spectacular, but he definitely didn't look bad, and he's got weapons on weapons. ETN looked really good. So I was impressed with ETN. This is good. It's funny because we've done this so long now that we pretty much look at games the same way. That's 2 weeks in a row now that we've been on the same college and NFL lock. So we'll see if we continue the trend of cashing those tickets. But that's my lock of the week as well. Jaguars +3. Joseph, what is yours?
It was at 4.5, but I'm gonna take the Giants -6. Just mentioned I like get back spots. They just got absolutely throttled and embarrassed on national television primetime.
You can get a 5.5.
I'm gonna take the Giants to bounce back here in that get back spot at -5.5 against a shitty Cardinals team.
Yeah, I mean the Cardinals stink. So, I nearly did pull the trigger on the Cowboys, if I'm being honest, because it just felt like it's like last year we were all over the Giants. They were covering, so I think they had the best record against the spread. But with the offseason stuff, with Saquon and all of that, and they paid Daniel Jones, Saquon wasn't happy. It just had a weird feel to it, but they need to get right. This is a good opportunity. They had high expectations coming into this year. This is about as good as a get right spot as you're going to get. Who'd the Cardinals play last week?
Commanders 20-17 or something like that.
20-16, yeah. Commanders won, and that's, good defense, but they got a new quarterback over there. I'm not on it, but I don't hate it.
Speaking of that Cowboys defense, though.
What?
Oh, yeah. Fantasy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, when they're blocking field goals.
Incredible.
And, yeah, it won you your week.
Incredible.
Yeah, I thought the guy I was playing had Tyreek Hill. He scored the game-winning touchdown. It kind of put him in a very comfortable position with me only having my defense left. Then the Cowboys scored 2 defensive touchdowns.
I mean, in like 5 minutes.
That is awesome.
It was incredible.
All right, to recap, Thursday, I am going Vikings-Eagles over 49. All the way to the end of the week. Monday night, I'm taking the Browns -2.5. Bengals -3. Jets +9.5. Don't buy the hype. Don't buy into the anti-Aaron Rodgers hype. And then I'm taking the Jaguars +3 as my lock of the week.
I'm on Eagles, Vikings over 49. Jacksonville +3 as my lock. And then I'm also on the Browns -2.5.
Thursday night, I'm going to take the Eagles -7. I'm going to the Seahawks Lions 2 for 1. I'm going to take the Lions -5.5 and the under 47. And for my lock of the week, a bounce back spot, the Giants -5.5.
All right, there you go. That is our best bets of the week, college football and NFL. It was an ultra profitable week last weekend. We're going to see if we can do it again. Do you have anything to say before we go?
Just fuck the system, man.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Fucking jailbird. You got anything to say before we go?
Good luck, fellas.
All right, episode 162 is in the books. Again, hit the subscribe button. Big Easy Bets TV, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, everywhere. We had an incredible week last week. We're going to try to do the same thing again. We've been saying we give these picks out for free. All we ask is that you hit subscribe. Let's try to get them again. Y'all have a good one. Who dat?
The house always wins. Play long enough, you never change the stakes. The house takes you. Unless, when that perfect hand comes along, you bet big, and then you take the house. I've been practicing this, a little bit. Did I rush it? Felt like I rushed. No, it was good. I liked it.